On what seemed like a peaceful morning, as a woman was about to go about her daily routine, she faced a nightmare. Based on the music she was listening to in her car, it was clear this was happening in Russia. The woman was driving dangerously, not recklessly, so she wasn't fully composed. Suddenly, a creepy man jumped onto the bonnet of her moving car. At first, it seemed like he might be angry at her driving and about to vent his frustration, but within seconds, his true intentions became clear. He was just a jerk. Despite the car still being in motion, he didn't care and began making all sorts of gestures, trying to get her attention. He wanted her phone number, but his behavior was unsettling. He even started banging his head on the windshield. It was a distressing scene. Fortunately, moments later, the police arrived and arrested the creepy man. Showing the determination of the store authorities to catch a thief in the act. In the footage, a desperate junkie attempts to steal from a shopping store. His behavior is erratic, as if he doesn't realize he's been caught. The video captures every moment of this unexpected and chaotic scene. Just as he tries to make off with the goods, store authorities quickly surround him. Surprisingly, he refuses to cooperate and tries to escape. Tensions rise as he struggles, but the staff won't let him go. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, where a violent thief is being apprehended in your presence, try to stay far away to avoid getting injured. The incident leaves one in suspense, questioning the true nature of the man's claims and the intense altercation. His condition raises doubts about whether he is homeless, drunk, or simply delusional.
Hey, leave.
Call your father. Seriously.
Leave.
Call your father.
No, leave.
No, I'll stay till the cops come because this is my house. Do I not rent here?
In this gripping footage, a man tries to break into what he claims is his rented home, leading to a heated confrontation with the current occupants. The scene opens with a tense exchange, escalating as one occupant demands the man's exit.
No, this is
I know
not.
you guys
This is
own
our
it.
house.
I know
This
you
is
guys
our house.
own it. I know you guys own
Put the
it.
camera back. Put the camera
We
back.
literally
Put the
rent
camera
it.
back. Put the camera back. It's our
Get the
camera.
Despite the hostile atmosphere, the man insists it's his home, later admitting he is mentally unstable and can't remember his address. The situation peaks when police arrived, and the man struggles to provide proof of residence, ending with his arrest.
Mail from. You think I can?
You have a mailbox? You don't have a mailbox? That's not what I asked.
Okay, so if I walk away, exactly. See?
A crazy crackhead was trying to pick fights and being disrespectful. He looked homeless and was clearly paranoid. He shouted angrily at passers-by, but never had the nerve to hit anyone.
Ooh.
Across the street, a man was recording the scene on his phone. Suddenly, the guy walked over, seemingly ready to confront him, but when he got there, he didn't have the guts to fight.
Who said run? Who said run? What? Run right here. Run.
The man recording warned him not to try, or he'd regret it, advising him to walk away. The guy calmed down, said goodbye, and wished the man a Merry Christmas.
You don't want it with me, homie. You better walk away. You better walk away. You don't want it with me.
On a quiet afternoon in Scotland, an unusual scene played out. A man, inexplicably clutching a cigarette, clung to the hood of a car. Inside, two women screamed frantically, begging him to get off.
He's on up driving. He's on my body, Dad.
Despite their pleas and the moving vehicle, he stubbornly held on. The tension mounted with each passing second, turning the bizarre incident into a spectacle that left onlookers stunned and the women inside desperate.
Go! Go! Please!
Sammy.
At around 3 a.m., doorbell camera captured a desperate man approaching a nondescript door, knocking urgently. Then, a tense exchange followed behind the closed door.
Hey man, big dog, I need you, big dog, boy, look here. Boy, I need you bad, man. Shit, I need about 50, man.
This strange guy came around asking for money, but from the muffled voices inside, it was obvious the residents weren't too keen on his presence. He appeared more and more desperate, as it was pretty evident he was in urgent need of cash, most likely for drugs.
Bye. I'm trying to get away, cause all right, big dog, I'm trying to get some, big dog. Bye.
Even though he pleaded, the resident stood firm, putting his own need for sleep and peace first, which is completely understandable at that time of day. Frustrated, the person inside firmly said no and asked the man to go.
I'll be through here in the morning.
During this incident, a person was caught stealing at Walmart. When confronted by a security worker just outside the store, they were made aware of the seriousness of their actions.
No, I got that on probation.
The individual then revealed they already had an arrest warrant, hoping to dissuade the worker from involving the police. However, the worker insisted that the warrant didn't change the situation and the person would still be accountable for their theft.
I have a warrant out for
I have a warrant for
Suddenly, the thief bolted just as the worker was about to call the police. By the time the cops would have arrived, the creepy man had vanished without a trace. After a seemingly typical day at work for most people, things took a turn at the local Walmart. They had to ask this creepy guy to leave, although we weren't privy to the exact reason. However, it was clear he'd crossed some line. Once he was outside the store, things got even stranger. In an odd display of defiance, he dropped his trousers, baring his backside, as a bizarre protest against the mall's security. One cool evening, as some gentlemen were about to leave a building, they encountered a man who was visibly high on drugs. He was acting erratically, displaying unusual behavior. Realizing that the situation might turn violent, they quickly retreated and shut the door behind them to ensure their safety. Suddenly, the man began banging on the door and trying to break it open, and after a while, he eventually left. Just outside a city centre building, a young Chinese woman was minding her own business with her friend when a couple approached and snatched her phone. As the couple tried to leave with some luggage that looked like it contained their shopping, the woman confronted them, causing a scene.
What's going on? What's going on? The police are coming, we want the phone, right? You're not going nowhere, right?
Passers-by joined in to help handle the situation. The truth became evident as things turned violent when the accused couple refused to comply. The situation escalated further when a stranger tried calling the young woman's phone and it started ringing from the man's pocket. The eyewitnesses confronted him and were able to recover the phone, which they then returned to its rightful owner.
I got the phone.
You're a fucking legend.
I got the phone.
Well done, mate. Effort.
Appreciate it. Thank you. That's right, mate.
Hey, no worries. You got your phone back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's cool.
On an otherwise ordinary afternoon at a retail store, tension quickly escalated. A woman found herself confronted by an agitated man who appeared to be under the influence of drugs, shouting threats at her.
I swear to God, on my mama, I'm gonna
He warned that he would hit her, but she remained unfazed and dared him to try. The confrontation hung in the air, thick with potential danger.
Do it. All right. All this shit
Do it.
going
Do it.
And I'm gonna show you.
Do it.
My homeboy.
And you are.
Other than that,
Then she turned and walked away, leaving the man to rant and rave by himself. This close call left everyone around on edge, wondering what might have happened if she hadn't walked away.
I'll stand all the children you'll stand. That's all you want, somebody take care of. Give me a solid.
A bystander got this whole moment on camera. The chaotic atmosphere of a gas station is palpable as a man, who appears to be a crackhead, tries to steal beer. The footage is raw and intense, capturing a desperate scene as security confronts him.
Put the beer down. Put the beer down. Put the beer down. Call the cops. Put the beer down. I'm calling the cops right now.
As the man tightly grips the beer, he seems restless, his movements unsteady, his eyes scanning the store compound nervously. The security's voice rings out, firm and urgent, urging the man to drop the beer.
Put the beer down. Put the beer down. Put the beer down. Call the cops. Put the beer down. I'm calling the cops right now.
Even though the security told him firmly what to do and he knew the police might come, he still paused, holding on to his beer. A woman stumbles into Walmart looking frantic. She claims she's lost, her eyes darting around wildly. Shoppers pause, unsure whether to help or keep their distance. Her voice rises, echoing through the aisles and creating a buzz of confusion. Some try to approach, but she waves them off, muttering incoherently. The store's atmosphere shifts as everyone watches, tension building.
Why are the people confused in here? They're not confused.
Oh, really?
Are you drunk? Are you drunk? There's kids. There's kids.
Oh, yeah.
The tension is mounting, and everyone is on edge, eager to see what happens next.
Videos of me. I get that every day. I'm on all kinds of websites. Okay?
That's great. It'll be on YouTube too. There's kids.
In the messy, dimly lit bedroom, a surprise visitor sits on the floor among the clutter. Clothes are scattered everywhere, and food wrappers mix with personal items. A sleepy voice breaks the silence, asking why the person is there.
Hey, what are you
Yeah, I'm getting
doing?
everything. I'm getting everything.
How'd you get in here?
The cops may have told me to come here. They welcome me.
The cops.
Imagine waking up to discover a stranger effortlessly rifling through your closet. Wide awake, you stare in disbelief and demand an explanation for their presence. This intruder mutters something nonsensical about not needing permission from the police to be there. Your voice sharpens with incredulity as you inquire whether they were truly sent by law enforcement. What a morning to be alive, if you ask me.
I know this man named Samuel. He is one of the cops. Whoever he walked here. You know Samuel?
I don't know Samuel.
The crackhead intruder insists they're a cleaner, but the mess says otherwise. They mention mice and sugar, making no sense at all. Frustrated and bewildered, the resident reached for the phone to call the police.
Look at it. This is my.
In this video, a woman approaches the counter at the mall to pay for some goods she just picked up. Just as she was trying to beat for the items, the surveillance camera catches her trying to steal the charity box. Unknown to her, the mall attendant was watching the whole time. The attendant confronted her, and she smiled as if it was a prank. She had no choice but to return the charity box to its rightful place. This was a dramatic and humorous example of the effects of drug addiction, luckily captured on camera. A woman high on drugs was driving slowly, frustrating the couples behind her. Suddenly, she stopped, causing a traffic jam. The couples, alarmed by her actions, started screaming at each other. They accused her of throwing something into their car and acting erratically. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, try to avoid it to stay safe. Anything can happen when people are high on drugs.
They killed all my kids. Call her. The other two are 20
Imagine relaxing in your living room and being disturbed by a neighbor who is visibly high on drugs. An elderly lady, clearly under the influence, causes a scene by attempting to break into her neighbor's house. The neighbors, familiar with her behavior, uncomfortably watch her try to break in multiple times from inside, capturing the entire incident on camera. If you have neighbors like this, stay vigilant and ensure your doors are always locked, especially if you have children. You don't want them outside and are at risk of being attacked. Just outside a Walmart, a woman causing a disturbance is being escorted by security towards the parking lot. She's carrying some luggage while being followed by the store security. Passers-by recorded the incident, clearly showing she was causing trouble inside the store and was forced to leave the area.
You're nasty. Nasty.
Venice Beach is a popular area in Los Angeles, famous for its bohemian spirit and vibrant atmosphere. It's a bustling beach town with upscale commercial and residential areas. The Venice Boardwalk is known for its eclectic shops, street performers, and colorful murals. However, on this particular day, a drug addict was causing a scene, likely due to drug use. This person was screaming at bystanders on the boardwalk without any provocation.
You'll get shot. Right now.
The bystanders remained composed as the addict continued ranting. It was clearly one of those moments of encountering drug addicts in public. These drug-addicted individuals were acting wildly by the roadside, betting with coins and a few dollars. Clearly high, the group consisted of about 4 or 5 men and women.
No, I'm just saying, because you know what, you got over bitch, baby, you think she wasn't with the phone and everything.
I got over on you.
That's not, yes, you got.
At one point, 2 women started arguing and threatening each other. It was amusing to watch, especially when it almost turned physical.
That's my this one. Brother.
Stop.
What you want?
Man, you gotta stop recording that shit.
Just as they were about to punch each other, someone intervened and stopped them. Watching them go back and forth was quite hilarious. Imagine waking up in the morning and working on your balcony, trying to clean up your surroundings, when suddenly a drug-addicted person attacks you. This happened to a man who was disturbed by a man high on drugs early in the morning in front of his house. He called the police, who did their best to chase the man away. However, as seen in the footage, the attacker returned after the police left and launched a more aggressive attack on the innocent man. On a normal Manchester morning at 11 a.m., a bus ride became unsettling. A woman began verbally attacking a man who was just sitting quietly.
Come on.
You touch me, I'll have you arrested for assault.
Assault? I won't touch you with a bash ball, mate.
Got any more insults to say there?
Spunk.
She insulted his scarf with a racial slur, and when he questioned her, she became more aggressive. The man, in an attempt to document her behavior, started filming. Her insults turned even more hateful, including homophobic slurs and accusations about his hygiene.
Don't, you're a dirty cunt. Do you know if you keep doing that to me, I'm going to smash your camera straight up. Right.
The footage stopped abruptly as it seemed she repeatedly tried to obstruct the camera. What should have been a regular journey turned into a disturbing experience.
Sit down.
I won't sit down. Take that off me. Take that off me.
When you stop assaulting
Take
me.
that. I've not assaulted you.
When you stop insulting
No,
me.
I've not assaulted you. You could be.
In this footage from Hollywood, California, a sudden commotion disrupts the peaceful atmosphere of a restaurant. The camera focuses on a woman causing a scene among the diners. Conversations stop, and eyes turn toward the source of the disturbance. A group of visitors from Germany, enjoying their meal, looks visibly taken aback.
You won't.
The woman, seemingly out of control, moves erratically between tables, shouting incoherently. The staff and patrons exchange uneasy glances, unsure how to handle the escalating situation. One diner tries to engage with her, but she becomes increasingly agitated, flailing her arms and grabbing at people's food. She only leaves the restaurant when she hears a siren blaring outside. In this video, you can see someone having an argument with a woman in the middle of the street in San Diego. The woman is leaning against a building, trying to sniff some cocaine. Just as she's about to start, passers-by begin screaming at her, telling her it's not right to be using cocaine in public. She shouts at the people recording her, demanding they stop and insisting it won't happen again. Suddenly, she becomes paranoid and starts yelling that it's none of their business and they should go about their daily activities.
No, you go somewhere private. No, you go somewhere else. You go somewhere else. You see me standing here and act like I want to do that. You know what?
She mentions that it wasn't her intention to be sniffing cocaine openly. As the argument escalates, the person recording the video decides to concede and agree with her to avoid a violent confrontation.
Or you could. Hello? Hello? Ain't nobody getting high. I'm not bothering you. You are. No, I'm really not.
This video is one of the most bizarre things you will ever see. In the middle of a four-way intersection late at night, a woman appears to be having a mental health crisis on the ground. Despite the cold weather, she suddenly starts acting erratically with a stick, using it inappropriately to satisfy herself. While doing this, she screams loudly and behaves wildly. It doesn't take long for the police to be alerted to the situation. A nearby resident captures the entire incident on video. The police arrive, observe her for a moment, and then attempt to apprehend her as peacefully as possible.
Get back, buddy. Yeah, damn. Oh yeah, bro. I live like a mile from the station.
No one wants to be at home in the middle of the night, trying to relax after a stressful day at work, only to be disturbed by a stranger banging on the door and yelling about needing to find a woman to sleep with. Unfortunately, this exact scenario unfolded at a house late one night.
Open my front door. Damn, baby. Open my front door, mama.
A man, seemingly under the influence, was causing a commotion, disturbing the peace during the quietest hours. Fortunately, the doorbell camera recorded the entire incident. One of the residents spoke to the man from a window.
Yeah, open the front door, please. Open the front door. Say that again? That's not your house. It's not your house. Can you...
The man claimed he needed to get laid that night and suddenly threatened to have a gun, demanding the door be opened. Despite his erratic behavior, the residents did not respond further, allowing the camera to capture his continued ranting.
These are the people that are with me. Can I help you into one garage, please? One girl. Let's go. You know me. Quiet time. Let's go, please.
In this video, a chaotic scene unfolds in a store involving a woman and the manager. The woman, appearing to be under the influence of drugs, loudly argues with the manager. Her slurred speech and unsteady movements alarm the customers.
You're not getting rung up in here. We've already told you multiple times. You have to leave the store. Does who know what? Okay, no odds.
Despite being asked to leave, she continues wandering through the store, trying to take a drink and other items without paying. The manager, staying professional, tries to guide her out, but meets resistance. The situation escalates as the woman yells and struggles, testing the manager's patience.
All the doctor forces like this. You can normal, but drugs. Spirit and holy. Yeah, Jesus. That's what drugs do to you.
Finally, after a tense standoff, she stumbles out, leaving the manager visibly exhausted. He apologizes to the customers for the disruption and seems relieved that the ordeal is over.
Yeah, she's been in here a while now. Yeah, I know, but you need to leave. You can't be in here.
I gotta get something.
Not here, you can't. You can go to Target or you can go somewhere else. But you can't be in here.
Schizophrenia is a severe disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. Individuals with this illness can be kind and lucid one day, and then become abrasive and paranoid the next. This woman was said to be suffering from schizophrenia. Unfortunately, her condition was partly self-inflicted. She was always smoking in the neighborhood, which worsened her mental health. One quiet weekday morning, residents saw her screaming at children on their way to school. The man recording the video confronted her, demanding to know why she was yelling at the children so early in the morning. She responded by yelling and cursing, saying all sorts of nonsense. Outside Mrs. Liquor in Apple Valley, California, things got pretty wild when a female deputy tried to collar a tweaker who wasn't going quietly. It all went downhill fast, with pepper spray flying and backup units racing to the scene. The tweaker, clearly not in his right mind, smashed his pipe and started bawling and yelling. He did that, trying to mess with any evidence that might suggest he's under the influence. His behavior got more and more unpredictable and confusing, refusing to cooperate and ranting about being singled out because of his race. In the midst of the chaos, you could cut the tension with a knife as deputies struggled to get a handle on the situation, with the tweaker's resistance just adding more complexity to the mix. In the heart of the bustling city, chaos suddenly broke loose when a homeless woman seemed to lose her grip on reality. Her eyes were wide with an intensity that sent shivers down the spines of those around her. With every word she screamed, you could feel the desperation dripping from her voice. A few people walking by suddenly halted. A few even grabbed their phones to capture what was happening. Things got even tenser when the woman directed her frustration at those filming her vulnerable moment. This reveals a side of city life that often goes unnoticed, exposing the struggles of those who call the streets their home. Late one night in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, a woman's peaceful evening turned into a terrifying ordeal. As she relaxed at home, a chilling sound pierced the silence, a man covered in mud, pounding on her door. Panic overwhelmed her as she watched, feeling helpless and alone. With each thud, her heart raced faster. She called 911, praying for help. Finally, the police arrived, but the mystery remained. Who was this muddy intruder, and why had he come to her door? As he was rushed to the hospital, fear lingered, leaving unanswered questions in the quiet of the night. Chaos broke out on the calm streets when a troubled woman, likely on drugs, started screaming false accusations at random people. With fear and suspicion in her eyes, she singled out an old man who was just taking a peaceful walk. The situation got even weirder when she began insulting everyone around her, saying the strangest things. Amidst all this, someone managed to capture a bit of the madness on camera, but not for long. Soon enough, the woman turned her rage towards them. In just a few seconds, the video showed how unsettling it can be to witness someone struggling with mental issues out in public. It's a stark reminder of how unpredictable people's actions can be when they're in distress. In the hustle and bustle of a busy street, police officers grapple with a disheveled man as a curious crowd gathers around. Whispers ripple through the onlookers as the camera zooms in, revealing his erratic behavior, slurred speech and frenzied movements. A bystander steps forward, gesturing towards a grey car, recounting how the man allegedly vandalized it. Tension rises as officers work to restore order amidst the chaos, maintaining their professionalism in the midst of the commotion. With a delicate balance of authority and empathy, they strive to de-escalate the situation. As the arrest progresses, bystanders watch, uncertain of what will unfold next. The scene raises lingering questions: what led to this altercation, and what awaits the troubled man in the aftermath? The most apparent explanation would be that he was acting under the influence. In this hilarious moment captured in a viral video on social media, we witness two individuals engaging in a lively exchange on a train. Just as one of them is about to disembark during a stopover, the banter between them reaches its peak. It's quite comical to observe one of them labeling the other as a crackhead.
No more! No more! No more! I never come again, bro. Don't! What?
The more assertive individual, sporting a black leather jacket over a blue top, is seen passionately expressing himself, while the other, dressed in a brown leather jacket, reciprocates with equal fervor. Their heated exchange includes daring challenges and colorful language, making for an entertaining spectacle fit for an Instagram video.
Go get him! Put him on! I gotta go. Get I ain't gonna touch y'all.
However, their antics begin to impede the train's journey, much to the frustration of the other passengers. Eventually, their patience wears thin, and one of the passengers takes matters into their own hands, pushing the lingering, yelling individual back into the train, prompting it to resume its journey. In this video, we witness a gas station worker who appears to be under the influence of heroin. Just after some customers had pumped gas, they decided to swing by the store for some items. The man was completely slouched in his chair, clearly heavily intoxicated.
We got some shit to buy, dude.
Does he work here?
They approached him and roused him from his stupor. Upon seeing them, he struggled to get himself together, seemingly fighting his own unconsciousness. He stood there swaying, barely holding on.
I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Big ass burrito and a Snickers, my man. Oh, fuck you get. Here, let me get these out of your way. You guys do.
The line, "Glad you find this amusing," really hits home. He's fully aware they're poking fun at him. It's impossible to know the inner turmoil driving his opioid addiction. Addiction is a deeply sad and complex issue.
I just find this amusing.
Late one night, an IKEA delivery driver was going about his usual routine. As he stepped out of his vehicle to attend to a task, he encountered an unexpected scene upon his return.
I got some psych just got in my truck and was driving it.
Free Palestine!
In downtown Detroit.
A woman, appearing erratic and possibly under the influence, was smoking a vape and loudly chanting "Free Palestine." She asserted that her actions were for the sake of future generations. The man found himself taken aback and alarmed by her behavior.
It's for my future kids. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Homeless drug addict.
Speculation circulated on social media, suggesting she might have been a college student, intoxicated and ejected from a casino, ultimately ending up in the driver's truck.
Palestine! I said! Free Palestine!
My truck.
Another group of individuals appeared to be under the influence in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It seemed like the effects of drugs were taking over.
Mike. You seen this?
Things escalated quickly, resulting in a physical altercation at the train station. It was quite unsettling to witness.
Damn. Montreal really be like this. Damn. No, bro, let's see it, bro. Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Thankfully, bystanders stepped in to break up the fight, putting an end to the chaos.
They're right here.
I'll make some food.
As rain poured down in Nashville, a few car enthusiasts decided to stop by the gas station to fill up their tanks. Upon arrival, they were greeted by an unusual sight. A couple of people, clearly high on something, were acting out in the open, showcasing their drugs to anyone around.
What's up, Jay? We down here. We down here. I'm down here. We down here. Let me tell y'all something. It's crackheads gone.
While one person was sipping on a drink, the other was dancing to a silent beat, seemingly lost in their own world. The car drifters glanced at each other, baffled by the unexpected sight in front of them.
Gone wild around this. Big crackheads gone wild. They gone wild. Crackheads gone wild. For real. Flocking.
Unsure of what to do next, they mixed concern with a touch of amusement, hurriedly topping up their fuel before swiftly leaving the gas station behind.
And everything, look at this shit. Crackheads gone wild, baby. For real. Them motherfuckers gone wild.
Late one night, there was this elderly woman clearly in distress, picking a fight with random people for no reason at all. Suddenly, without warning, she lunged for a glass bottle, seemingly intent on using it to harm a man who was filming the altercation. Her movements were erratic, fueled by who knows what.
Look, she over there busting the bottom.
It was a tense moment, with onlookers unsure of how to intervene safely. It was a chilling reminder of the unpredictable nature of the night. As the line at Chick-fil-A wound its way forward, stomachs rumbled with hunger. Then, out of nowhere, someone slipped in, bypassing the orderly queue like a troublemaker. A murmur swept through the crowd. What was going on? With determination, he forged ahead, reaching the counter and demanding immediate attention. The attendants exchanged looks, their annoyance clear. The man appeared disheveled, almost resembling a stereotypical image of someone struggling with addiction. As customers and staff exchanged glances, they silently questioned whether they could bear the weight any longer. In the midst of the tension, he persisted in his irritating behavior until he was eventually asked to leave. In the midst of a bustling midday, a distressed Britishman vented his anger towards unsuspecting teenagers. As they cycled through the streets, they stumbled upon his outburst. His eyes filled with frenzy, and his words slurred. He unleashed a torrent of threats and insults, the intensity of his voice cutting through the air. The teenagers exchanged unsure glances, bewildered by the escalating situation. As the man's tirade reached its peak, they quickly decided to steer their bikes away from the chaos, leaving him to grapple with his inner turmoil alone. The echoes of his shouts lingered in the now quieting street, serving as a stark reminder of the discord that sometimes pervades urban life. A watchful homeowner, alerted by her Ring camera, foiled a thief's attempt to steal a package from her porch. Quickly, she dashed outside and confronted the intruder. With adrenaline pumping, she grabbed the package back, reclaiming her property before the startled woman could escape. As neighbors glanced out from behind their curtains, the thief, realizing her plan had failed, hurried off into the shadows.
She'll bang you in the head, stealing from people.
The homeowner, still feeling the rush of adrenaline, silently thanked her security system. It served as a reminder of the importance of staying vigilant in a world where even the safety of one's own porch can be threatened by opportunistic eyes. In a hilarious turn of events, a disheveled crackhead mistakenly identifies a tranquil house as belonging to his drug dealer. With a cigarette dangling from his hands, he clumsily scales the building, rambling about an impending drug bust.
You got that shit?
What's up, dog?
You got that shit, bro? I got $3. I got... Where's that?
Upon reaching the window, he brazenly demands $3 worth of crack. The actual resident, taken aback but finding the situation amusing, observes in disbelief. Suddenly, the crackhead glances up, realizing his error. Red-faced and embarrassed, he hastily descends while muttering apologies under his breath.
Oh, I gotta go back for my $3. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened, dude. Chick, right? There was this dude, and then there was this chick, and then there was this pipe, and then it broke, and then we ran. And...
Meanwhile, the resident can't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all, recognizing they've just witnessed a comical case of mistaken identity.
$3? Is this the wrong house? What'd you get? You got anything? Hey, $3. $3? You got the crack here, right?
A man caused chaos in a shopping mall, prompting security to call the police. When the officers arrived, he resisted arrest, flailing and shouting obscenities. Shoppers watched in shock as he struggled, trying to break free. Despite his efforts, the police managed to subdue and handcuff him on the ground. The commotion drew a crowd, some filming the incident. Eventually, the man was led to a patrol car, still yelling. As the police drove away, the mall returned to its usual buzz, the disturbance a fleeting reminder of the unexpected drama. The scene opens on a busy street in Manchester, charged with tension. A disabled man, visibly distressed, confronts someone off camera. He accuses the person of calling him names and refusing to give him change. The passerby responds with insults, further escalating the situation.
What's that? Yeah, you gonna stab me up, are you? Are you? Yeah, man. Fucking prick. Fucking crack.
The brief video shows the disabled man holding what appear to be leftover ribs, indicating he may have just come from a restaurant. The passerby's narration reveals that the man had asked for money and received a dismissive response, which led to the argument.
Kid. Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, I bet you are. Crackpot. Crackpot.
The tension reaches its peak as the disabled man, appearing to be at his wit's end, chases after the passerby, who continues to film the encounter. The video cuts off abruptly when the beggar becomes too tired to continue.
Let's just come out of, is it marathons? I think, yeah. As you can see, got some ribs. And he just starts asking for change. Said sorry.
A man named Rob is in a fit of rage, arguing with some people off camera. His anger boils over, yelling curses and threats. He demands to know something, his frustration evident. The camera shakes as the situation escalates, with Rob shouting and taunting.
Alright. Guys, I reckon right, if he had no camping.
It's recording.
Wait, you can't!
The video reveals overturned furniture and scattered items caused by Rob's outburst. He seems to be lashing out indiscriminately. Despite pleas to stop, Rob remains consumed by anger.
Cat!
Go on.
Oh.
Show Tyler what you can do to his face.
Are you cat?
The off-camera voice grows increasingly desperate, begging him to stop before someone gets hurt. The video cuts abruptly, leaving the aftermath unknown, but heavily implied by the chaotic scene.
Cat! Stop! Stop!
In the quiet of early morning, at precisely 4 a.m., this house gets an unexpected visitor. A mysterious figure suddenly emerges, giving the doorbell a sharp tap. Peering through the peephole, the homeowner catches sight of their familiar yet unnerving visitor, now gripping a gleaming knife. The visitor's hand trembled as they placed the blade on the doormat and rang the bell again. With each second, tension mounted. The tired homeowner opened the door, greeted by the unsettling news of a break-in nearby. Caught on camera, the encounter unveils the unsettling reality of living next to unpredictable neighbors. With each passing night, a fresh twist unfolds in this eerie saga. In this amusing video captured on a phone, there's a quirky scene involving a man who, unfortunately, wasn't permitted to enter a restaurant. It seems his disruptive behavior and unkempt appearance, including being shirtless, raised concerns for the restaurant's security. Despite this initial hiccup, he eventually gained entry. However, once inside, his behavior took a paranoid turn, amusing those who witnessed the spectacle. After managing to pay for his meal, intended for dining in, he simply grabbed the food and made a swift exit. At 3 p.m., a surveillance camera recorded a distressing sight. A person, clearly in the throes of addiction, tried to break into a building. They initially wrestled with the locked door, then resorted to the window, successfully forcing it open. Just as they started to wriggle through, the video abruptly cut off, leaving the resolution uncertain. Later, authorities stumbled upon the footage, prompting an investigation into the incident. Despite the abrupt end, the video provided a vital clue, ultimately leading to the individual's apprehension. This incident shows the critical importance of maintaining vigilant security measures and acknowledging the pivotal role of technology in thwarting criminal activity. In her patient's dimly lit room, this nurse struggled to stay awake, her exhaustion weighing heavy on her eyelids. The air held a strong scent of marijuana, masking the usual antiseptic smell. Her focus faltered under the drug's influence, making her tasks feel distant and challenging. Then, a patient's monitor beeped urgently, snapping her back to reality. Feeling panic grip her, she struggled to maintain composure while glancing at the monitor, but dizziness overwhelmed her. She understood she couldn't neglect her responsibility to offer proper care, regardless of her personal struggles. However, it dawned on her too late when she realized a patient's guardian had been recording everything all along.
Did you find it yet?
In the dead of night, a woman, clearly under the influence, carelessly veered her car dangerously close to a man standing near the boardwalk. Though a pang of guilt may have flickered within her, she showed no remorse. The man, unfazed by her reckless behavior, took out his phone and began recording her escalating anger.
Came up in my house and hit me.
Bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Don't tell me to do something because I'm going to do it with your white ass.
Call Carl, he's the chief.
As she pulled away, her fury intensified, driving her to circle back and lash out at him. The video abruptly cut off, capturing the moment when the man was knocked unconscious by her blow.
Trying to run people over in our complex?
And I went in the car. I went in the car. Never went
Now, with the street enveloped in silence, it stood witness to the aftermath of her impulsive and dangerous rage.
Okay.
In the bustling heart of Athens, Greece, an unlikely encounter unfolded between a drug addict and a solitary dog. Fueled by crack, the addict's erratic behavior escalated as he harassed the innocent canine, mimicking martial arts moves in a disturbing display. Sensing imminent danger, the courageous dog responded with fierce barks and lunges, compelling the addict to retreat. Surprised by the dog's sudden defensive action, the onlookers urged the person to appreciate the fact that the dog didn't act aggressively. Despite the potential for the dog to respond with hostility, it opted for a peaceful approach instead. It is unheard of to see a homeless man being harassed. As the passerby followed the homeless man, their phone raised like a weapon, recording the innocent man. The homeless man kept moving ahead, disturbed by what was happening. However, he couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. Despite this discomfort, the person harassing him showed no signs of stopping, with their laughter echoed loudly. One ordinary day, things get a bit strange when an unexpected visitor lays claim to a house that clearly isn't theirs. Turns out, she's a homeless drug addict, but surprisingly, she's making an effort to communicate clearly.
Are you the one that was here last time?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you keep coming back here?
Well, from what I understood, I had an agreement to help clean this out. I guess
agreement was...
Confusion sets in as she confronts the homeowner, adamantly asserting her right to be there. She argues they struck a deal for her to help upkeep the place, but the homeowner isn't buying it.
Who?
What's your name?
Who'd you have an agreement with?
It was with Brandon Henson, and it was that old white man.
Tension mounts as neither side gives an inch. Now, we're left pondering how this peculiar standoff will ultimately play out.
Negotiations and does all the, fixes and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind getting your name so I know future reference, because I don't do anything crooked. I'm not like that.
Well, you're doing crooked because you shouldn't be in the house.
Under the eerie glow of the gas station lights, two individuals, clearly under the influence of methamphetamine, stumbled about like zombies, trying to fill their worn-out car with gas.
Who driving, man? Because y'all don't even look like y'all can walk. Heisman on the ass.
Onlookers were astonished as they recorded the bizarre sight on their phones. Despite their unkempt appearance and erratic behavior, the two managed to navigate their vehicle to the station.
With it, rock with it. The zombies. Mr. Lee, what's wrong with them?
I don't know.
It was a surreal moment. blending disbelief with a hint of amusement as they clumsily handled the pump, reminiscent of characters from a low-budget horror film.
Say hi. Say hi. Oh, she can't even respond. Oh, oh.
This video is hands down the funniest crackhead encounter you'll ever witness. It's just another day in the life of New Yorkers. Clearly, these two guys were totally zonked out.
Sometimes people are like, why'd you move back to New York? And I was like, I don't know, I just really love the ambiance and like there's such a charm to this.
One of them sported a diaper, while the other rocked what seemed like a hilarious female get-up. Their antics were off the charts, like they were on a meth-fueled joyride. Spectators couldn't help but crack up at the absurdity unfolding before their eyes. In an isolated gas station, a disheveled man stumbled in, his movements unsteady, reminiscent of a zombie's shuffle. With twitching limbs and wide, frantic eyes, he fumbled to pay for his goods at the store. Each step seemed like a battle against unseen forces, his body swaying to an unheard rhythm, a desperate dance. Fellow customers exchanged nervous glances, apprehensive of his unpredictable behavior. Behind the counter, the cashier observed with a mixture of sympathy and fear, silently hoping for the situation to resolve.
God, what'd you think?
The man continues to move erratically, a sad reminder of what a grip addiction can have on someone. Check out this hilarious video featuring a guy who's clearly high on drugs, acting like a total goofball at a gas station. He's going on about speaking hilariously and telling people to mind their own business. The gas station owners weren't amused though. They ended up calling the cops to come and take him away. Watching it unfold was pure comedy, especially when the police tried to handle the situation delicately because he was acting so wild.
I think you're gonna need to do it, dude. I got it on video for you. Go. He's gonna get. Oh.
During this encounter with individuals under the influence of drugs, it was around 7 a.m. in the morning, right outside McDonald's. The scene was populated with people who appeared to be high on various substances, crack, fentanyl, as well as using pipes and hoses for their consumption. Their disheveled appearance hinted at their homelessness. Despite their altered state, they seemed aware, though somewhat disoriented. The person filming the video noted that it's unfortunately common for addicts to utilize public spaces for their illegal activities. In a quaint little town, there was this lady behind the gas station counter, her eyes glazed over from a surprising hit. It was certain that she was clearly high on drugs. As customers trickled in, she mechanically scanned their items, her thoughts drifting elsewhere. Then, out of the blue, a customer noticed her distant look and became worried.
You have a wonderful night.
Hi.
The female customer captured the entire scene on camera. It was quite a humorous sight to witness. It is unfortunate to see the increasing number of workers coming to work under the influence of drugs.